So today what we're doing is trying to figure out a way to make a closure for this. So I went back through my scrap box and decided on this material to make a couple of tabs. I'm going to do one at the top, one at the bottom, and probably use the hitch posts like Nick did. Nick did one in the center here with a hitch post. I'm going to do two because I don't have the machine, like I said before, to actually get to the center here. So here and here I can manage that with my crocodile tool for punching the holes. So I'm going to do that today, and I'm also going to try and finish up these pages as far as foundation pages go, and then work a little bit more on some of the decorative pages. All right, so stick with me and we'll get through this together. I'm sure. Thanks for watching. See you in a minute. Okay, so basically when it came to deciding, like I said, I went through my scrap box, but and decided on this because it is leather back, or rubber back, sorry, can't even talk today. But I thought it would be strong, and I can double it over. It's rubber back, so I thought I could double it over and have pretty strong little straps on here as I go. So I just have to decide where I'm going to do it. Now the other thing is, I thought of this embroidered lace. I know a lot of people have this. This would be nice too. I thought it looked nice, and it was a contender for sure. Putting that on, but I thought wouldn't be strong enough, and you know, kind of loose weave and stuff. If it would be stronger by putting some of this linen tape on it. So I thought, I'm just showing you ideas that I had, and I thought that would be nice. Now if I'd had more of this inside, I probably would have gone that route, but I kind of wanted to tie the binding material that we had here with the, you know, the edge material with this. So I anyway ended up going with this. So just some things to think about. You'll have lots of choices, but just think about how you can possibly tie these in with that. I mean, something else that I had was just this leather look material, and I thought, well, that would work, and it kind of goes nicely with that too. But then I thought it's just another, anyway, it's another material that I just thought it would be better to go with something that kind of tied this into it as well. So that's what I'm going with. And the next thing to do is figure out how to attach it. So that would mean what we have to do is take it from this back. This will be up here. Excuse my inky desk. Crafter at work. So I took two strips of this, and they're about 8, maybe 8 inches long. Let's see how good I am at guessing. Maybe 9. Oh, 9. So took two strips that are 9 by nearly 2. And this because I thought if I folded it over, they would be really strong, and they would make strips of about 1 inch, which wouldn't be covering too much of the front cover, and yet it would be strong. Okay, so that's what I did. I cut 2 strips like this. That's the rubber back side. And I'm not going to sew because I know a lot of people don't have a sewing machine, but if you did and you wanted to, you could sew those straps. So my machine isn't set up, and I don't mind the raggedy edge. I'm just going to glue it to itself and glue it down like that. And then I have to go to this back edge and figure out where I want to put it, and then attach it here. And I'm going to attach it with some really strong glue, and I'm going to put a couple of little brads in there, so this looks like it's attached with the brads, but it's not really going to be attached with the brads. I don't think. I might be able to actually do that now that I'm saying that. This is the mind of a crazy crafter. You think you're going to do it one way, and then you start to figure out how to do it and change your mind. So I'm going to have a look at putting the brads on. So hang with me. Okay, so I did decide I'm going to use brads because I have these ones that match what I put on this page here with the butterflies when I put that on. So I'm going to bring that into the back here and attach them with that brad going all the way through. I think that's going to work out. So the first thing I have to do is glue very, very good. Lots and lots and lots and lots of glue in here. So I started using tacky glue, and then I switched over to this because this stuff sticks, and might have to wait for it to dry a little longer, but I know that this stuff is good, and I have some, so I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to put this on the tabs, or is that what they are? Tabs? No. What would they be called? Leather straps? Faux? Well, let's just call them straps. Okay. So I can put plenty of that on there. And it does seep into the material pretty good. So I'm going to just do that on both, getting rid of some of those stringy bits. So I'm going to do that on both, and then I'm going to put the brads in, punch the hole on the back. Okay, so I've got them glued and I've got them clipped. I'm just trying to press in there. I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to put these under some weights. Okay, so on your inner main cover, not your flippy do, but on the inner main cover at the back, go in however far. I went in about 3/4 of an inch, and I've got one of these crocodile things, like I said, and I've set it to just a little bit inside, about 3/4 of an inch. So don't go on this fold here. This is actually where that's going to bind across, or fold across and keep the book in, and that'll be your edge here. So go on to the actual cover and go into your mark and punch your hole. I use the small punch, the small hole in that punch, because I'm only trying to put a brad through, and they don't have big legs, or they're not fat, so it's pretty narrow little legs they've got. So now I'm going to get those pieces that I just glued, and I'm going to put them onto the back here with a brad in each one. Okay, so when I was looking at it, and I was thinking it's not going to be a lot holding that, so I'm going to go longer and actually put 2 brads on here. So just got to watch. I'm going to punch another hole on each side a little bit further down so that I can put the 2. I'm just going to make sure that they're going to have enough space between them. So I'm going to put that brad, the next one, right about there. Make a little mark, and I'll measure it so that the other side is similar. And now I've got 2 holes, and I will put this on here. I'm going to also glue it. Now I'm just going to think about whether I want the tatted edges on the inside or on the outside. It doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go on the inside. And full disclosure, I'm probably not waiting long enough, and because of this being rubber backed, this glue isn't drying fast enough for me, so I did go back and add a little bit of the tacky glue, and just holding and pressing that down. It seems to be holding pretty good. I mean, I can feel it wet through the material. So anyway, I like them. I think it's going to turn out cool. I like it. So since I want it to hang over a little bit and have room for the thing I do. I'm going to just go up a bit, measure that, line it up to those holes, and do the same on this one. And then I'm going to do a little punch hole, and then I'm going to glue that and put the brads through. So I'll put glue on that. Oopsie, make sure you got it the right way on there. Put the brads through. And my hands aren't working great today. I'm not sure what's going on. So put 2 brads in. Poke it through the holes. And this is why we haven't done this page yet, because we're going to use that page later. That nice decorative page is going to cover up all of this business underneath it here. All right, so let's close the little arms of your brads. Like so. And then some people put tape over that as well. And if I can find some tape, I will do that. So I'm just going to measure this one to that, so I know I've got the length there. Bring it up to here. Make a mark where my dots are. Make a dot where my holes are for my brads. Punch them and put the brads in, same as I did up here. And then I put some clips on here, and I'm going to let this dry. Now the only thing you want to watch when you're doing that is if you have the fold on the inside and ragged on the outside, you may want to make sure that you've done the same on the other side. This one and this one should be similar, I would think. It's a junk book. You can do however you like. Don't forget to put your glue on. Get your brads ready, and then stick them through the holes. All right. Flip your book. And open the little arms. So I did find some tape, and I thought I'd let you guys know about it. It's called Micropore. It's a medical tape. So I just put that on, and the only reason that we're doing that is because we don't want those little legs or arms or whatever you're calling them, off the brad, to pop through the fabric or the paper, whatever we're going to lay down on this page. So anyway, I've just covered those up, and that's a little bit better. So if you got something like that or regular tape, also thought of a piece of material that could go over there. Anything, just probably cover them up, because every time you open those tabs on the back, those straps, you might get a little bit of a tug onto those. Okay, so I'm going to try and put these hitch posts on. So I'm just looking at my book, the open edge, and trying to figure out how tight I want to make this. And I'm going to be able to cut some of this strapping off, but it's better to make it too long than too short. So figuring out if the book is closed, like without a lot of stuff in it, I'm going to be able to have one hole here, because I'm going to put my hitch post right about here. So about the same distance in and over. So about a ½ inch this way and the 3/4 inch deep with the crocodile, and then about the same measurement in. But so it's there, so it'll have enough to grab on, and I want to be able to have a little bit so that if it's snug, and if it gets full, I want to be able to loosen it up. So you just have to figure that part out for yourself, and that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to punch the holes in here and in this card and get these hitch posts on. Now, if you don't have hitch posts, I'm using hitch posts because I had them, and that's what Nick used, so I thought I would do the same. So if you don't have them, consider that when you're thinking of your binding right at the beginning. You have to sort of think this whole thing right through, step by step to completion before you start, really. Not for the whole book, but for each little project, like, you know, putting on the pages, putting on the straps, putting on the binding. You have to think things through a little bit. So I'm going to do this and hope for the best. Okay, so I'm going to do the same and make sure my inner flat page is out of the way, and I'm going to punch the hole for this hitch post. Now it's small, it's a little piece, so I'm going to use the small hole on my crocodile and just punch it right there. And I'm going to do the same on the bottom with everything out of the way. So all you want to do is kind of make sure that you've got that distance from the bottom so that it lines up with your strap. And punch your hole. Okay, so these hitch posts are a little bit fiddly for my hands to do easily. So I'm going to put the bottom piece through a little screwdriver end piece. I'm never sure what that one's called. Slot edge, slot. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to thread this top post. Zip. I'm going to thread that onto the post as it comes out here. Right there. Okay, so it's sometimes easy. It just threads on. If you hold the screwdriver piece at the back with your finger, that'll just thread on like that. And I'm going to do the top side same way. And there we have a hitch post on the front cover. All right, so there it is. I got the clips on there still just to keep that, get that to dry, that glue to dry. It's still a little bit wet. So I'm going to leave those on, but I thought I'd show you how it clips on there. And so that's in the first hole, and if it gets big and full and fat, we can just loosen it up, and we have plenty of room there. So I punched the second hole about finger width, half an inch maybe from the first hole. Yeah, about half an inch. Okay, so there we go. We got that all ready to go, and we're moving on to getting these last pages in, because now what we've ended up with is a couple of little hitch posts, screw backs showing through. I don't mind that at all. I kind of like it. It kind of matches the other brads and whatnot that we have in here. So we're going to cover this page up with this. Butterfly page that I made. And like that. Probably just going to glue it in like that. And then we've got this last section here, this page here, and I'm going to do something like this. Nick had made a big frame with acetate window, and she put a big tab in there for a calendar. I might get fancy like that, and I might just glue that down and I've got this butterfly page that I made, which isn't finished yet. I'm not happy quite yet. But I've got this to go on the back, so it could be like a tag if I wanted to just do a big tag with that. And that could pull out and have a big acetate window on the front. So I'm going to get back to that, and I will show you in the last part, and then we will be finished. So I hope you've all followed along and are happy to make your book. When I do the flip through, I will probably make a supply list, just because when I was going through this, I was following Nick. She wasn't sure what she was doing either. You know, that happens sometimes when you're creating. You don't really know what you're going to do next. It just comes. So I'm going to leave a list as to what I did, because sometimes when you're going through things, you're going, oh, well, I don't have that, or I should have had that, or, I mean, the thing too, Nick's book is basically just foundation pages. Hers is a documentary style, and all of the pages that she's put in like that or just stay like that. I mean, they're graphical documentary style of the cards, and mine are more embellished. And so I've added some pages because I wanted, and some different decorative bits, because I wanted to embellish mine a bit before, because I'm not finished with it, and I mean, this one's for me, so I'm going to decorate it as I am putting pages in. I'm decorating in my entomology garden theme. So I figured if you got bugs, you got birds. So I have included a few birds in here as well. And here's one. Anyway, so birds and butterflies and bugs, that's what it is. It's an entomology dreamers lapbook. Okay, so thanks again, and see you next time in the final episode, which I will try and get up fairly quick. Okay, take care, you guys. Bye-bye. So I thought I would like to make something that would be a similar display as we have for the bugs. And I was thinking if I just maybe pasted that onto there, figure out where the holes would be, and cut holes in this front cover and folded that over. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure out where the holes need to be, and try and cut it out, and fold it and paste it and do all that, and I will show you as I go. Okay, so I'm just hoping, I don't know if this is going to work at all. I guess if you're seeing it, it worked. So what I did is put the page on, and I just went through and figured out where the center of these bugs were, in the center this way. And then I'm going to put a 2-inch ring on here, die cut, I don't know what to call these, die cutter. And that should, if I center the ring and the mid mark and the other sideways lateral mid mark and the vertical mid marks, I should be able to get that just right. And then I'll do the same here and here and here. And I'm just going to have to do one at a time because I've only got one ring at a time here. So I'm going to do what I can, and I will show you when I've cut all the holes. 6 holes. I'll show you once I've cut all the holes, and we'll see if it lines up. So I know that, okay, following Nick, I really have gone off course from Nick's stuff at this point. As I work, I think I get further and further away. But that's how it works, because we are just using her work as our foundation for how to build the lapbook pages. Hers is more realistic, and mine is more of the entomology, botanical as I've said before. So when she did hers, she did a couple of belly bands here, and then another notebook to go that slides down in and is held by the belly bands. I didn't want to bother with that because I figured I had enough paper and pages in here with the 2 booklets. And then she worked on this back page as well, this page that's in here, and she just made a frame with an acetate front, a nice large frame, and then a nice big tag that went in, and it had a calendar on it. So I'm not sure what I'm doing at this point yet here with this. I'm thinking maybe something like this, but I'm not sure. So it's a little sneak peek at what I might not do. So, but what I wanted to do was to try and make something with this graphic illustration or picture, photograph. I'm not sure what it is. Probably a photograph, which I found on Pinterest, which is, I can't credit the person because it's all over Pinterest. There's a number of images like this on there. So I thought it was kind of cool, and has the realistic. So anyway, I printed it twice on a lightweight cardstock, and then I went and I cut out all of the butterflies, the main butterflies, like this guy, and you know, this guy, and this one here. I just have to make sure I get them right. Anyway, so I've cut them all out, and I backed the back, I inked the back with black archival, and then what I'm going to do is just glue them on there like that, and then put this page onto some brads, and then put this into the book, possibly right there. I'll let you know. So there it is. That's all I've done, is I've put a little glue on the body part, just on the body part. I bent the wings up, put the glue on the body part, and then put that over top of the picture. And that's what we're ending up with. So I'm going to find a way to, oh, I also put some brads in here to hold that down, to look like it's held down on something. And I'm not going to do the other little ones at this point. I think that's all I'm going to do to there. I may find some other way to frame it or something, or possibly a little narrow box to put it in or something like that. I'll let you know. So I've cut a frame that's going to be just a little bit bigger than the picture of the butterflies, and out of chipboard from the back of an art pad. And now I'm just using some archival black to go around the edges, and then I'm going to just glue that around the edges here, to glue that onto there.